Welcome to the Breakthrough Podcast. I am your host, Kwame Kuadey, and today I want to talk about the opportunity that exists in adversity. I think every adversity that we face as entrepreneurs has an opportunity embedded in it. And you can only realize that opportunity, that full potential of that opportunity, once you change your mindset and realize that this challenge or adversity that you're going through is not happening to you, but is actually happening for you. So, in this podcast episode, I want to explain what it means to take advantage of opportunity in adversity, because I think that this is something that people throw around a lot and say, "Oh, you know, that this is happening because there's something good in it, and that you're gonna come out of this experience on the other side and be in a better place." But nobody talks about, at least in my experience, what is not talked about is what is embedded in this adversity that is an opportunity, and how can I see it? What is the process? What is happening behind the scenes in this adversity and challenge and difficulty that I'm facing that I cannot see? And how can you open my eyes to be able to see what is behind all this so that I, the person who is going through it, can take advantage of this opportunity that is in this adversity that I face? So, to get started, I feel the need to explain what the process looks like in terms of why I believe strongly that there is opportunity embedded in every adversity. To be able to understand this, you need to understand how entrepreneurs take ideas and birth them into reality. That is critical. That is a critical part to understand before we even go further in explaining the opportunity in what you're facing. So, how do we go from idea to something that is real? Well, it starts with a hypothesis. You, the entrepreneur, decide that this is something that you want to pursue. You see a market opportunity. Remember, we are all in business. Entrepreneurship essentially is to solve a problem in the marketplace. So you are in business to solve a problem in the marketplace, and you're getting paid for it. So the first step is you have an idea, you see an opportunity, and you have a hypothesis of a solution to that problem. And so before you go out and actually start a business, you first have to do some customer discovery. You have to go out there and figure out, is this actually a problem that a lot of people have? Can I create a big business out of this idea? Is this solution that I have come up with solving the biggest pain points of the customer? And more importantly, is the customer willing to pay a price that makes me able to actually have a business here? Because if the customer is not willing to pay the price that you are going to charge to make this work, there's no point in doing it. So all these variables have to align. One, it has to solve their biggest pain point. Two, that they have to want the solution right now. The pain point has to be so great that they're like, yes, if you solve this problem, I'll pay for it. And three, at the price point that they're willing to pay. All that happens, that customer discovery work, is what I call the testing phase, which means that you're putting an idea out, and then you're getting customer feedback, and then you're tweaking that idea, going back and getting more feedback, and going through that process of testing, getting feedback, iterating, testing, feedback, iterating, until you arrive at a business model, which means that you arrive at a product or service that solves the biggest pain points that the customer is having, and at a price point that they are willing to pay. And the market is big enough that you can build a sustainable business in that space. That is the testing phase. So you go from idea to testing. And so if you already have a business, in order to grow, in order to stay ahead of the curve, in order to be sustainable and be on top, you always have to innovate. And what that innovation means, it means that you're constantly testing the market to make sure that one, the product or service that you're offering is solving the customer's biggest pain point, because customers' pain points do change. And when they change, the customer is not going to come to you and tell you, oh, guess what? My pain point has changed. They're not going to do that. They're just going to find somebody else who can solve their new pain point. So it's your duty and your obligation, if you want to survive and constantly stay on top in the marketplace, to pull your top customers and find out, is the product or service still solving your biggest pain point? What other pain points are you having? And if you have new pain points, what kind of solutions would you like? If you were to design that solution as a customer, what would you include in that product or service? So that is what you have to constantly do. And the problem is that a lot of us entrepreneurs get comfortable. And so we are not going out there and doing this testing and polling our customers and trying to understand the shifting nature of our business and our industry and the customer needs. And that is where a lot of times our surprises come in. So you have a business, and then all of a sudden revenue begins to decline, and you're wondering what happened. Well, it could be external factors, the economy, whatever. But for the most part, sometimes is internal, is that the market shifted. Consumer taste shifted. How many times haven't we watched businesses that have been left behind because they didn't adapt quickly to consumer change, the changing taste of consumers, and also changing technology? I mean, there's many examples that we can give. Think about Blockbuster Video. When Netflix came around, they didn't understand the fundamental shifts that is going to happen. And even Netflix gave the game away by naming their company Netflix. They even painted the future for Blockbuster to see. They didn't say DVDbymail.com or DVD by Mail Incorporated. The DVD was just the first stop to the future, which is the internet streaming content. But Blockbuster was asleep at the switch, and this is what happened. So my point is that we get comfortable, the customer needs change, the industry changes, technology changes, and if we're not going out there and constantly staying ahead of our customer discovery work and making sure that we are meeting the customer's biggest pain point, or if we are not asking ourselves, what can somebody do today to put us out of business? And you're not solving for that problem or that solution or that answer to that question, then you're asking for it. So a lot of the times we get into the juncture where our business is declining and we are trying to figure out why. And so here is the background that I need to paint to then talk about why there is opportunity in adversity. So if you find yourself in this situation where things are happening, now you are experiencing pain. There is discomfort. And now you have to do something. Because when times were good, you wouldn't put yourself in that discomfort, because this process of going out there and testing things and doing all this requires some discomfort. It's like starting a new business all over again, and it requires discomfort to get uncomfortable, to ask those questions, to form a hypothesis, to go out there and test it and iterate and test and iterate until you come up with a new solution. It's not fun work. So a lot of us sometimes know we have to do this work, but we don't do it because it's uncomfortable. So we fall into doing the same thing and expecting the different results, and all of a sudden there's a surprise, and now our business is in danger and we have to act. So discomfort comes, and now we are forced to have to deal with this adversity, and now here lies the opportunity. Well, you know the roadmap. You know what you need to do. Most of the time, when I talk to entrepreneurs about where their business is and the struggles of their business, they know what they should have been doing, or they have an idea of the possible paths that they could explore. It's just that the pain hadn't reached the point to force them to actually go out there and explore that. So now that you're in the situation that you're in, now you're going to find the opportunity in this adversity, which means that this pain is happening for you and is going to force you to do the things that you know you should have been doing, or the things that you know could be possible solutions to your problem, but you were too comfortable to do. So adversity triggers an urgency in us and forces us into action to take the uncomfortable steps that are necessary to get us to the next level. So that is where the opportunity is. And you have to come at this by embracing this as something that is happening for you. Because if you get into the mindset that woe is me, then you're going to miss this window, because there is tension here and you want to exploit that tension to your advantage. The discomfort that you're going to feel, the pressure that you feel, the financial pressure that you feel, watching your business crumble, all that is only going to go away by you taking action. And the action you're going to take is going to make you do things that you are not happy or excited to do, but are necessary to get you to the other side. So, in addition to forcing you to do the uncomfortable, sometimes the opportunity in the adversity is also practicing a virtue. What do I mean by that? Well, it may mean that patience is something that you may have to learn during this season, because it took a long time for this problem to materialize, so it's going to take a long time to get out of it. So you have to be patient. But patience is not a passive thing. It's an active thing. So you have to get into the mindset of, okay, what is patience about to entrepreneurs? It's about how to extend your runway so that your business will survive long enough to realize the potential gains of the work that you're doing to rescue the business. So what does that mean? Well, what kind of costs do you have to cut? What adjustments do you have to make in your spending? What projects do you have to push aside? Who do you have to let go that has not been performing, that you've been keeping on the team for a long time? What can you negotiate with your suppliers? What benefits can be renegotiated? There are a whole host of things you can do to extend your runway, preserve cash, so that this thing that is in front of you that you're trying to deal with, that is going to take a long time, your business can last that long to realize the gains of the hard work that you're putting in. So you may be forced to have to also practice a virtue, and patience is one of them. Sometimes you may be forced to also practice gratitude, because you may have had it very good, but you didn't see it. But not only didn't you see it, you were looking for more. You kept looking for more. You kept looking for more. And in that quest for more, you missed a lot of signals along the way that was telling you, the warning signs that were building up and telling you, look, dude, you have to slow down and appreciate what you have and be content and work to strengthen what you have versus chasing all the new shiny objects because you want to get bigger and bigger and bigger when you haven't fortified what you have. So sometimes the opportunity in the adversity is to teach us some virtues also, including patience, virtues like, gratitude, perseverance, discernment, and all those things are qualities that you're going to need in your journey as an entrepreneur. And it's important that during this moment of adversity, you are being forced to actually practice them and build that memory where in the future, when you're in a similar situation, you'll be able to reference that point and know that those virtues are important just as anything else that you're measuring in your business. So, essentially, what I wanted to say today is that adversity uncovers opportunities if we are willing to do the work, the uncomfortable work required to realize them. Adversity also pushes us into action. There's a lot of things that we've known for a long time that our business needed, things we needed to do to make our business better, to fortify our business, but we neglected to do. Opportunities that we saw or paths that we knew could be possible futures for our business, but we knew that taking them would require a lot of discomfort and pain, so we didn't do it. And all of a sudden, we're in a situation of decline. We're in a situation where the business is struggling, and this adversity is forcing us, then pushing us into action. And lastly, it provides us an opportunity for personal development, to practice virtues, patience, gratitude, persistence, love, discernment. And discernment also requires you to be in tune, to be attuned with what is happening around you, so that you can listen to your gut and not be so led by external things that you're not listening to the spirit inside of you that is talking to you and giving you the GPS of where you should go and not go. So I hope this is very helpful. My goal was to just help you, give you a framework of understanding why adversity has opportunity in it for those who are willing to do the uncomfortable work. So until the next time, remember, you can do hard things. So keep pushing forward.